If you're a service provider struggling to increase your prices, or you feel that your customers are trying to bring your prices down and are pushing you because they don't really value what it is that you do, then it actually could be because they don't see you as an investment, they actually see you as an expense. So make sure to stick around because I'm going to share with you my 3 step framework that we actually use to transition our business from being an expense and becoming an investment for our customers. Hi there, my name is Juan Guerra and I'm a storytelling consultant to service providers. And if you want to go deeper into the topic, we actually have a live weekly masterclass on our website. Just scroll down below to find the link, or you can go to juanguerra.net. And in this video, I'm actually going to walk you through a 3 step process that you can implement to transition your business from being an expense to your customers and actually get them to see you as an investment. At some point last year, I was listening to a podcast where Donald Miller was actually coaching somebody, and she was providing services for people getting married. She was doing these arches with balloons and something like that. And her business was growing, but even though she actually couldn't increase the prices so that she could afford some help to help her grow and to manage the orders. And what he told her completely pushed me to start looking into my business in a whole different way. He actually told her that the challenge was that by selling to people getting married, she was selling to people who saw her services as an expense. And instead, she could go after people, or she should go after people that would see her services as an investment. And that's when he advised her to actually sell that service to stores to decorate them so that they're more Instagrammable. Now, the whole idea pushed me to immediately look into my business and see what we were doing wrong and actually how we could transition and reframe our services in the eye of our customers. And so, for step number 1, the first thing that we need to do is actually look into your own services, look into what you do, and identify what are your core strengths. And from there, look into the market and find those potential customers that have the same problem, but that would actually value your strengths the most. And if you want to go deeper into this, you can learn more about it with April Dunford and her book, Obviously Awesome. But what she talks about is that in order for us to make ourselves more attractive, the easiest way is to shift who we are targeting. And this is exactly what we experienced in our service business. In the beginning, as we started, we sold to people that we knew, and they necessarily were not the biggest businesses. Now, this was enough to get the business off the ground, and some of those clients have been clients for a long time. But we know that in reality, they don't see us as an investment, but they see us as an expense, something they just need to pay for in order to operate. And the biggest difference here is that even though the people that see us as an investment and the people that see us as an expense have the same problem and are solving it with the same solution, it's their mindset and their strategy and what they do with our service that makes the whole difference. And so those that see us as an investment, they have systems in place to capitalize and to repurpose and to grow what we actually do for them. While the ones that see us as an expense, they hire us, they cover the hole, and that's it. Nothing else happens. And so we had to look into how do we are actually able to position ourselves as an investment. And we have a look into the way we provide services to the market and see who else is out there. And we see that because of who we are, we actually have an advantage in a particular area. And so we look for other companies that are operating within the same space that will have a similar mindset and values and principles like ours, because they are the ones who are going to actually connect with us and are going to want to buy. If you need a car, there are many companies that can sell you a car, but you don't buy a car from many companies, even though it might be the same pricing. You buy from those particular brands that resonate with you and who have the same values, and you feel that they believe what you believe. And so, what you need to see is actually have an inside look into what makes you shine, what are your core strengths compared to everybody else, so that you have that unfair advantage, and then use that to reframe the way that people see you. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that the moment you start going after people that will see you as an investment, well, you're going to see that the market gets quite crowded because everybody's going after them. They are the ones who, even though may look like the ones that are going to see you as an expense, they're the ones with the budget for it. They're the ones planning long term. They're the ones actually buying your service because they're going to avoid a problem in the future. And so, obviously, this is going to attract all the other businesses, all other service providers to go and try to sell their services to them. Now, if you manage to identify what's your core strength that sets you apart from other people in the market, those that believe what you believe and also recognize the value of that core strength are going to actually buy from you. And so that's how you go, step number one, from being an expense to becoming an investment. Look for companies that value your core strength. Step number two, in the process of transitioning from expense to investment, it's actually shifting the conversation and the focus of what you talk about. You need to move away from talking about features and benefits and characteristics of your product and service, and instead start talking about outcome and results. People are buying results. If you're going to buy a holiday vacation, a trip to Hawaii, you don't care about the process of getting there. You want is the vacation. You want to experience yourself under the sun, by the beach, having your cocktail. And so think about it from the perspective of your customer. They don't care about how you solve the problem because you're the expert. That's why they're hiring you, because you are promising some results, and that's what they want. When you start shifting the conversation and then focusing on results, that makes you an expert. And then by the more you can guarantee those results and the faster you can deliver them, then the more value you're going to give to them. And therefore, the lower the risk, the better the investment you're going to become. And so you're eliminating the uncertainty that they have from doing business with you by guaranteeing those results, but only when you talk about the outcome that you can provide them. If you talk about the process and the features of your product and all these different things, what's going to happen is that you're going to make yourself super easy. You're going to make it super easy for the customers to compare you with everybody else in the market. And therefore, you're commoditizing your product because now they're just comparing features to one another instead of bringing the conversation back and making them think about the results that you can provide to them and the cost of not taking action, of not doing business with you. And so shift the conversation and start talking about the results and outcome instead of the product features and benefits that your service has. And these will help you get from expense to an investment. If you're getting value, before we move on to the next step, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we drop a new video, because that way you can make sure that you start using storytelling to grow your service business. And for the last step, it's actually going to happen after they buy your service. And that is because even though you manage to convince them in step one and two and allow them to see that doing business with you is an investment, step number three is all about staying there, making sure that they continue to see you as an investment as they build that relationship with you and you deliver on the service and the results that you promised them on during the sales process. What that means is that if you are not able to deliver at speed, whether you're fast, you're slow, you are missing in action, you never answer to messages, they have to do all this kind of work. You actually give them things that are not filtered, but you make them decide. You give them option one, two, three. Which one would you like? These are all reasons that are going to lower the quality of the experience. And instead of being delighted and fascinated and making sure that they feel that they made the right choice by purchasing your service, what's going to happen is exactly the opposite. And now, instead of getting somebody that will become an ambassador and tell everybody about you, they're actually going to do exactly the opposite. And so you want to make sure that after they buy and believe that you're an investment, you want to reinforce that decision by providing them a unique experience and also providing the results that they expect, or actually over delivering on the results that you promise, actually faster than they expected them. You're going to be fast, you're going to be communicative, you're going to walk them through the process, and so on and so on, because you want to make sure that they actually purchase from you once again. All right, so let's start bringing it all together. And we started with step number one, which is let's identify what are our core strengths that give us a competitive advantage over the other people in the market, the ones that a particular customer is going to value the most. From there, we move to step number two, which is actually transitioning away from talking about the characteristics of the service, the features, the benefits, and start talking about the results, the outcome, the new identity, the transformation that the person is going to achieve after they do business with us. Because at the end of the day, that's what they are looking for. That's what they desire. They're going out there into the market looking to invest long term and trying to get closer to that new reality that they're striving for, whether it is growing the business at a new stage, at a new place, at hiring more people, going into a new market. Their envisioning is results. And that's exactly what you need to provide and promise with your communication. If you're stuck with benefits, then what you're going to do is you're going to commoditize yourself and they'll compare you to everybody else in the market. And lastly, step number three is actually what happens after you have convinced them that you are a great investment to buy your service in, and therefore you're going to have to deliver on that promise. And so it's really, really easy to turn things around if you're not delivering at speed, if you're missing in action, if you're not providing a unique experience that helps them see that they made the right choice. If you like this content, make sure that you type in the comment section below if you find it useful, if you're actually thinking, if you're an expense, or if you are an investment to your customers. My name is Juan Guerra, and I appreciate you for watching all the way here, and I'll see you in a video next week.